Hello and welcome to tutorial number 3 for the Webwam Webmanager. In this tutorial we're going to look at moving elements, resizing elements, z-index and rollback. Okay, so first of all let's look at moving an element. So if I click on this text box here which says welcome to PixPhotos, I left click on that to highlight it. It's highlighted, you can tell by the red borders and the resize boxes around the edge. Now if I left click on it and hold my left mouse button down and drag, the element follows my cursor around the screen. So that's how you move elements. Okay, now I can resize this by left clicking over these white boxes around the edge, and I just click and drag. It's exactly the same way as I move the element, but I'm just moving the white box. So I'm stretching the boundaries of this container and now I'm shrinking them. Notice how the text moves around to basically fill the container. Now I can do the same with images. I can move them and I can resize them. Okay, in the tutorial on the website it talks about turning this into like a collage, and that's great because it demonstrates obviously the resizing of elements, so you can get used to doing that, and also it demonstrates z-indexes, and I'm going to talk a bit more about that in a second. Okay, so let's create this collage effect. Make the images a bit bigger so they overlap. That's great. Now if I click on an image, or any element for that matter, it brings it to the front automatically, but when I click off it goes back to its natural position again. Now if you look at this image of the Taj Mahal, that is behind all the other images. See, when I click on it, it comes to the front. When I click off it, it goes to the back. Now, if I change the z-index to a higher value than any of the other images in this container, it will stay at the front. So, at the moment, it's got a z-index of 0. If I make it 60, when I click off it, it stays at the front. It's got a higher z-index than all the others. If I click on that bird, which is now behind the picture of the Taj Mahal, and make it 61, that comes up above the picture of the Taj Mahal. So that's got a higher z-index as if it's coming out of the screen. So basically that's what the z-index is. It's the order of your elements as they come out of the screen, if you can imagine kind of stacking them so they're coming out of the screen. Have a play with that when you're doing this tutorial yourself, and you should get a good understanding of how to use that. And there are some pretty useful. It's a pretty useful tool for certain situations when you're developing a web page. Now I'm going to save this page and let's have a look at it live on the web. So I've just saved it, and let's click View Live Website to see the live version. Okay, there we go. We can see that the images have taken the kind of collage effect that we played with earlier, and the bird image has come to the front because it's got a higher z-index than the Taj Mahal. Now, let's say I really didn't want to make those changes. I've made them and I thought, oh no, I've made a big mistake. I want to undo all those changes. Now, rather than go back into the Web Manager and undo everything I've just done individually by resizing the images back to how they were, I go back into the index page, I can roll back to a previous version of this page, and that's a really handy feature if you ever screw up something on your page and it's like, oh no, what am I going to do? I don't want to have to undo all the work I've done. It's going to take hours. So what you can do is, now I'm in the index page, if I go to File, Rollback, and I'm going to roll back to the previous version of my page. And there we go, it's reverted it exactly as it was at the beginning of the tutorial. And if I save that and view it live, you can see I've undone all the changes I just made a second ago. So all is not lost, and back to where I started. Fantastic. Anyway, okay, so I hope that's been interesting. I hope you've understood. If you've got any questions, email us at support@webwam.co.uk. and look out for the tutorial that's coming out tomorrow. Thank you.